All right, we should be live. Let me check in with the chat and make sure we are running over on YouTube and Instagram. Drop in the chat, let me know you're here once we are live. Might take a second or two. I'm using a new streaming software to try and go across Instagram and YouTube so we can get everyone on the stream, but we'll see how things go. Let me know if the music's too loud, how the lighting is, how the audio is. As always, we'll try and get things technically set up so it's a chill stream for everyone. Got the chat overlays coming in. Have the videos started? We'll see. Hopefully they've started. I'm here. Let's find out. There we go, yeah. Nice. Let me mute that. Cool, who have we got in the chat? Welcome everyone. So Selim, welcome. Hi. Hey 3X Bricks. Very musician. The video should have started now, I hope. Let me know in the chat. How's everyone doing? Happy May 4th. Thanks for joining the stream. It's been about a year since I was live on YouTube. I'm in a new flat. I'm all set up with a whole new display, and we've got some exciting stuff to get through. Obviously, this is kind of the main event. I'm going to be building this, which is exciting. I've been looking forward to getting my hands on this for, well, ever since it first leaked, actually. I made a video about it pretty much the day it came out, and I just think it's such a neat gift with purchase. It's a shame it's a gift with purchase. It should have been a retail set, but that's Lego these days, so what can we do about that? I'm just going to keep up with the chat. I haven't got the slickest streaming setup, so we have this screen here, but I'm going to use this in a little while so we can cover all of the leaks that we've been covering on the channel. We can talk about the MTT, the turbo tank, kind of all the latest details, Playscale Slave 1, all the good stuff coming in summer. Yeah, but happy May 4th, drop into the chat. Greetings from Netherlands, says Tidge. I really want to get the Clone Cadet promo set. Well, I will let you know what it's like as we build it today, and I'm a big fan. I think the K8 Enforcer is kind of like a little mini Slave 1, and I wasn't going to quite shell out the 300, but I can't remember in English pounds how much the UCS Slave 1 was. But this keeps me covered for May, and then in August we have the Playscale Slave 1 coming for $70, which will be very similar to the Boba Fett Playscale Slave 1, which came in, I think, 21, 22. So we kind of know what we're getting, and that's just more my kind of style. I love a good playset. I love minifigures, so that's me. Right, let me come back off here. We'll get back onto the music, and let me know what you guys have been picking up for May 4th, what everyone has picked up. So if I run you through everything that we've got here, and then we'll start with some leaks, then we'll get building, and we'll see what happens. I usually talk a little too much, so remind me in the chat if you want to see some building, or you want to talk about a certain leak or anything. Very Musician is commenting about the turbo tank wheels. It's actually an insane idea, but the execution was okay. I've seen a few comments about the size of the turbo tank wheels before I run you through these sets, and there's kind of seems to be two opinions. Either you hate them because it's going to make the turbo tank small and overpriced, or I did see a couple of fans point out that the design is actually probably the most accurate to the in-universe turbo tank wheels that we see. But obviously they're not rubber wheels, which is just, it's not as exciting. We want a good kind of turbo tank playset with a nice handle, some good wheels, and it seems like those wheels are going to be not so good. But anyway, let's talk about the sets I picked up for May 4th. Some of you may have seen, I posted a short video on YouTube and Instagram just running through the haul. But yeah, we've got the Kamino training facility, which we're going to build on stream shortly. I also went for the duel on Peridia. Now, I had mixed feelings about the Ahsoka show overall, I gotta say, but I do think this is a really cool set. It might be a simple build, but it's actually a really neat display set for setting up minifigures, setting up a little duel scene. You can put this anywhere in the Star Wars universe. I know this is sort of specific, the stickers, and there's a lot of stickers in this set. But you get, these five minifigures. They're all exclusive, I believe, apart from obviously now the Night Trooper, which will be coming in the battle pack. But I wanted to get my hands on Thrawn, the new Ahsoka. I'm not so fussed about Ezra, his blue Force eyes, a little bit cursed. But I'm a huge Rebels fan. I wish we'd got a season 3 Ezra. We unfortunately never got that for Rebels. And some of you might know, but my profile picture, over on Instagram, I think YouTube is currently my face. But on Instagram, the uniform that I'm wearing is based off a season 3 Ezra uniform design. And I'm a big Rebels fan. I will get to the chat in a moment. Let me run you through the rest. There's only 2 more sets. So we've got Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. Now, this is, again, really for the Anakin and Ahsoka minifigures. And this is just your cheap and cheerful playset. And I say cheap and cheerful, it was still £35. You know, it's about $40 in the US. And frankly, I do love the printing and the design on Ahsoka Starfighter. I think the white and the dark red is wicked. But another Jedi Interceptor just isn't the most exciting thing. We've had Yoda's quite recently. Plo Koon's Microfighter, that should have been a playset. But this is my Constellation prequels playset with some good Jedi action, and, you know, smaller little build. And then for my Andor fans in the house, we have the U-Wing. And this was basically the order that combined together to get me that Kamino gift with purchase, which was kind of the May 4th challenge this year. How can you stack, you know, either you go for the UCS Slave one, you're all in, and you know, you've got yourself that Kamino, you've got yourself the coins, you've got yourself all of that stuff. Or you go in the playset route, which is what I took. And so we've got 3 playsets here. I know some people probably switched the Peridia Duel for the ARC 170. But in terms of Andor, I've been a big fan from the start of Andor. I think Tony Gilroy really knows what he's doing, and he's sort of basically showing Disney that they've just completely mishandled everything. He's not quite George Lucas, but he does bring a little bit more of those dark kind of political undertones, the subtext, the grimy, gritty side of Star Wars, which I've come to love more as an adult. Obviously, we love the hope, we love the light side, the dark side, the stuff that got us into it when we were younger. But yeah, anyway, I'm waffling. So we've got the Andor U-Wing here, which is no Luthen Rails Fondor Hallcraft. It's not the kind of banger Andor set I was hoping for, but we do have some great minifigures, and the build is growing on me. Let me put it that way. Let me come and check out the chat, because I saw a... Okay, just had a little bit of a technical glitch, apologies. So I was trying to get to the chat here, which if I make this big so I can see you guys a little easier. Streaming off my phone, which is a new attempt, just so I could get the whole backdrop and also give you guys the music and run you through some of the leaks a little later. There we go, nice. Let me catch up here. So I saw Bedlam said the U-Wing is really good, though he wishes there was more space to carry things on board in the interior, which is a complaint I've seen about the U-Wing. It's not the cheapest playset. If you throw back to, say, even the last 2 years, we've had the 2 dual playsets, the TIE Interceptor, the Fang Fighter, and then the Ugly set last year. And they were retailing at about $100, $110, right? Whereas the Andor U-Wing's at $70, and it's a single ship. But I mean, this is just absolutely symbolic of all of the price increases and the kind of price gouging that's going on with Lego these days. We either accept it and just keep on collecting, or we take a stand. I know some people are boycotting buying the sets, but you know, it's Star Wars Day. It's May 4th Day, and I wanted to get some building in. So yeah, Bedlam wishes it was a little bit bigger. And Very Musician says the UCS Jango isn't available in the physical official Lego stores in my country yet. Am I the only one? And then he says he's in Greece. Is anyone else having that problem at the moment? I obviously didn't order the UCS Slave one, so I haven't run into this issue, but it was definitely available here in the UK. Anyone who's been picking it up, have you guys managed to pick it up all right? Nice. And then Blitz Infinity says, none of the past Turbo Tank models were rubber. They were molded hard plastic. When you say it's a shame that they are not rubber, there is no precedent. Yeah, fair enough, man. I know some Lego fans like to get incredibly granular about every moment and every word that's said. I'm live right now. When you're live, there's a degree of spontaneity to when you're speaking, and you're not always going to get every detail exact. The older Turbo Tank wheels, they were molded hard plastic in the middle, but on the outer layer, I'm pretty sure on a couple of them, there was a non-plastic material, or if it was plastic, it was a somewhat bendy plastic. Even if I'm wrong, I appreciate you pointing that out, dude. You know, it's good that we've got some fans in the chat who know the exact molds. No, it was never available, Very Musician says. I hope the Slave one comes through now. So Sith Bricks says, what do you think of the Star Wars logo set? It's a good question, man. When I first heard about this set, I thought it was a big L, to put it simply. I really wasn't a big fan of it as a concept, but it is actually quite a clean and neat display set. I don't think it's quite worth the price tag. I didn't buy it. Obviously, you can see we've just been through the May 4th haul here, and the logo wasn't quite on that list for me. But I'm not a huge fan of the sort of adult display collector sets. I'm talking the helmets, I'm talking the midi scale ships. You know, like I said, I'm a big fan of play sets and the minifigure sets, the smaller sets, battle packs, dioramas. I'm a big fan of dioramas. Some of you will have seen, I don't know if it's on camera. Yeah, you can just about see my Amon Hen and the Death of Boromir in the top corner there, which is like a Lord of the Rings one I designed. And then back over here, we've got Palpatine's at Rest, the Emperor's Throne Room diorama, and Dagobah Jedi Training. So kind of all the play scene minifigure setup dioramas I'm a big fan of. But yeah, also all the play sets more widely. And the logo, it has no minifigures. If they had included a George Lucas, like an anniversary George Lucas minifigure, or, you know, a couple of classic Star Wars characters from the prequels and the original trilogy, like they did with the Marvel logo, you know, I think that might have enticed me in. And I don't need any funky play features where the minifigures are flying out of the sides or anything like that. It's more about just the nostalgia, right? Actually capturing the nostalgia around Lego Star Wars. I'm not sure, as much as I love, you know, the way the credits roll in the original movies, and they obviously do in the prequels too, with the yellow font and the logo and everything, that isn't like, I don't think about that and then think, wow, I really want to build that in Lego, right? I think, oh, I want to build a, you know, a big clone showdown, a big Clone Wars showdown, which is why things like the turbo tank get us excited. And when we hear that they're not quite as well executed as we were hoping, and Lego might be cutting some corners to sort of save on parts and costs, that's a bit disappointing. And, you know, there's no doubt about that. But yeah, anyway, let me check in with the chat. Damn. Nice. I'm a little bit behind. I'm going to come down to the start. What's going on? Lego Empire says, welcome, brother. Testing out the stream out here. It's good to have you on stream, man. We're going to cover some leaks. I'm going to build the Kamino set in a moment. But yeah, do people want to comment in the chat? What do you want to do first? Do you want to go over all of the leaked sets that we have left this year? Do you want to cover each May 4th set and sort of rank it? Or do you want to just get into building? Let me know in the chat. We've got those three options. And let me keep up. Where's the Balrog? Batman, where is the Balrog? Great question. The Balrog is coming. Drums in the deep. And I mean, we don't want the Balrog to come, but we do want it to be revealed and leaked. And from my knowledge, it's being leaked in the week of the 20th of May, probably the 27th of May for the Balrog reveal. Mark that down and fact check me if you like. But yeah, it should be on the 27th of May. And I mean, based off the Harry Potter book nook and the Sherlock Holmes book nook, I've got pretty big hopes for the Balrog. All Lego has to do is design it right. I'm disappointed it doesn't include more members of the Fellowship of the Ring. I think if it included Boromir, Aragorn, maybe a Hobbit or two, probably Frodo, you know, keep it at 4 minifigures. That's actually realistic with what Lego could do for the price point. But you know, from what we know, it's only Gandalf and then a Balrog design, which is not quite as exciting. The Lego Star Wars community circle is tight. It is, man. Yeah, I mean, the Lego community as a whole. It's been a pleasure, like, growing my account. I mean, over on Instagram as well. And seeing how big the Lego community is and how many different kind of corners there are of it, right? We've got the mock building side of things. We've got the leaks community. They kind of merge together at times. You've got people who just like to take their kind of minifigure shots and share little nostalgic images, nice little kind of Lego things. It's just a massive community. It's very cool to be a part of it. Although I'm excited for the August wave, the MTT and Turbo Tank both being 160 is a little bit of a shame. And there is some missing information about these sets, like larger pieces or figures. Absolutely, man. So for all the Star Wars August 1st sets, we obviously have had a couple of summer reveals already. We had the Battle Droid, which is a July set. And we do have a leaked placement render of the 327th Battle Pack showing us the yellow Clone Walker that is supposed to be included. But for everything else in August, I'm not expecting images until the end of, well, potentially the early June, but realistically more towards the end of June. It really all depends on who gets the images, you know, whether they're leakers who are willing to share them, or whether they're, you know, hardcore fans, or they're LAN. You know, if you're a member of the Lego Ambassador Network, you won't be able to share those images and that kind of thing. So it really just depends on who gets those images first and who's willing to take the risk and share them. Anyone who's been following the channel for a while will know that I'm somewhat of a veteran in terms of leaks, copyright strikes, and Lego trying to shut you down for sharing things. I've lost 2 Instagram accounts, the first one with 10,000 followers and the second one with 20,000 or 25,000. That was only a month ago, but we have a new one up and running and we're almost at 10K again. If you could go follow over there, that would be much appreciated. But you know, YouTube is my main focus, and Instagram is just kind of a nice space and forum to discuss things, you know, to see people comment a little bit quicker, more easily, reply to comments. I try and do the same on YouTube. Instagram's a little bit more instant, and I can kind of give you all the information in one image. So yeah, definitely follow me over there if you want to keep up with things early, but keep up with this chat. Will you display the Lego logo? So I have been thinking about it. I did just talk about this for a moment. I don't think so. At least not for a couple of months, until I've got a little bit of spare Lego budget after summer. And you know, I'm not exactly rolling around in space, shall I put it? You know, I have a small flat, so I've kind of got quite a lot of Lego, and in my bedroom there's already another wall of Lego. So it really depends on whether I could fit the logo in. How about you guys? How many of you have picked up the logo? How many of you are planning to pick up the logo? Or how many of you were surprised that you actually want to pick up the logo after seeing it revealed? Because I think a lot of us had quite a negative response to it at first. Hello there, Comics Will, General Kenobi. But glad to have you on, man. I'm sure you're well on your way to 2K subs or more already, but it's always a pleasure seeing you drop in, Will. Very musician. I think leaks first. Nice. Leaks. May 4th ranking. Hello, what set do you recommend me to buy for the May 4th promo? Says Dario. Dario, man, good question. I would recommend, if you're on a budget, do something like I've done. So grab 3 play sets, ideally. Wow, I'm doing some good balancing for you out here. I went for the U-Wing, Peridia, and Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor, and that just got me to the GWP limit. You could swap the duel on Peridia for an Arc 170 quite easily, or any other MIDI scale helmet set, anything in that 60, well, not even 60, this is a $45, $50 set. Anything in that $40 to $60 price range. If you're a tiny bit under, grab yourself a Lego Star Wars gel pen, like a lightsaber. They're like £4. Don't feel conned into spending another 50 on another big set, unless you want to, and then happy May 4th. But yeah, I'd recommend something like that. And those 3 got me this, which we will build on stream shortly. And really was the main set I wanted. And I will make a confession here. I did order 1 on eBay, which is for the giveaway. So technically I have got 2. Obviously one of those will be sealed and then be given away to one of the viewers. But of my videos, that's on my Star Wars channel running at the moment. But yeah, this is my copy, and I thought I wanted to build while I watch Andor. I couldn't resist a bit of prequels Anakin, and then duel and Peridia, mixed feelings, but I needed to hit that give a purchase limit. So that's what I'd recommend, Dario. Let us know if you make an order, man, and what you go for. Happy May 4th. Sony is God. Which of the leaks is most excitement for you? Is most exciting for me? Which of the leaks is most exciting? I'm guessing you mean of the sets that haven't been released yet, and if you do mean that, then August 1st is where most of the action's happening. We have things like the UCS Death Star as well, but $1,000 for me ain't happening. I mean, I could probably get the money together, but it's just not something that I think it would take up most of my living room, frankly. Maybe when I've got a bigger house, and I can display the Death Star in its full glory as it deserves. But yeah, so August 1st, what am I thinking? I think it's got to be the MTT, right? We've got about 9 or 10 sets releasing on August, and let me move these out of the way. We can flip over to my Instagram on this screen. I know this is not going to be perfect. Some of the text might be slightly backwards and whatnot, but this way we can cover all of the leaks that are coming out, and on this one. So I'm not going to be able to scroll along it. That's annoying. Fine, we'll have to go to the video in that case, which is this one. Yeah, this one. If you haven't seen this, this is my, came out yesterday or the day before. This is my fully updated guide to every 2025 releasing confirmed set so far. I think there's about 15 to 20 sets in total left. And they're all there in chronological releasing order with prices, piece counts, minifigures, build limits, basically every detail that we currently know about each set I've put together. And there's also a healthy dose of nostalgia. I can get my face off screen. You can see enough of that already. So that's the Kamino giveaway that I just mentioned, and the Smeagol giveaway, which is just at the bottom here. I'll just circle it in case you can't really see it. I was supposed to announce the winner on Friday, but the Balrog reveal has been pushed back. And as I said about 10 minutes ago, it's coming around the 20th of May. So I will probably announce Smeagol next week. But if people were patient, I'll do it with the Balrog reveal. That was kind of my plan and why I announced it for that date. That was when I expected the Balrog reveal alongside Sherlock and the Harry Potter ones, but Lego's been keeping the Balrog very close to its chest. So that's giveaways. Now, if we run through all the leaks quickly, and we'll start with the July. That's not the official image, obviously, but keep up with the chat. Leaks. High five, First Army, welcome. Welcome, Big Friendly Truck. What's up, man? Very Musician says, do you think we deserve battle packs for Lord of the Rings? Absolutely. I don't know how many videos I've made about this. Well over 20. To the point where people accuse me of clickbait. Let me know they hate me because I've created concepts for Lego Lord of the Rings battle packs in the hope that by us calling for them, Lego will eventually hear and do it, which is how you make anything happen in the world. So apologies to anyone who thinks they should already be coming. Like me, I hope they will. I think 2026, 2027 is strong for the future of Lego Lord of the Rings after the Shire, Smeagol, and kind of the run of Rivendell and Barad-dûr. But I'll keep the Star Wars, seeing it is May 4th. R&B Bricks hasn't got any new sets yet, but I hope you do pick some up in the next couple of weeks, man. Which set do you think this year at the moment do you like best? I will cover that again in a moment, but MTT, off the top of my head. I hope the Balrog isn't a big fig with wings. I also hope it's not a big fig with wings. Although, in a way, that would be kind of cool. Like the cave troll, the Moria cave troll is very cool. I've got the, hold up, let me grab the Surtur. I have the Marvel Surtur here, which is sort of the most accurate Balrog style set we have. This is a Marvel set. It's not quite perfect. I'm not a massive fan of this headpiece. I get it's Lego, but the sort of art, it's just odd that they already molded this headpiece, and had they just molded the horns onto it, that would have been wicked. But I guess, you know, if you don't want to see a big fig, you're kind of hoping for something more like this, which is brick built. And it is a fantastic design. It needs a different head mold, and obviously you need the whip, a few other details to make it Balrog accurate. But yeah, I am excited for the Balrog. $40 battle pack, an MTT, and maybe turbo tank, says Tidge. Good cause, man. I think my summer will be looking similar, in all honesty. I might drop the turbo tank if it is really tiny. I was a big fan of like the ATT and the Coruscant gunship, getting those big nostalgic clone playsets in the summer, preferably with a handle. If they have a handle, that kind of like secures the vibes. That makes it a good set, in my opinion. If it's got a good old play handle, that takes me back to being younger. And yeah, it sounds like it's going to be quite small. I'm not even sure whether it will actually have a handle, the turbo tank. I bought the Daily Bagel newspaper office from Amazon. Daily Bagel. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but it's not the Daily Bagel, is it? I think it's a different... Daily Bugle. Daily Bugle, right? I got that. Spider-Man fans, let me know if I got that lore. And also another Spider-Man, Ghost Rider vs Carnage. Oh, that's awesome, dude. I built the Ghost Rider vs Carnage with one of my cousins, and that's a really neat set. Well, no, that was I think we did the Ghost Rider bike mech. It was like flaming on a bike. It was cool. I liked it. I'm not a huge Marvel fan, as you can see. Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Dungeons and Dragons, Medieval Fantasy, Castle. There's actually some Exoforce up at the top there, Harry Potter Durmstrang ship, Orthanc, a few other sets that I can't fit on the main shelves, which well, I think many of us adult Lego fans have that issue of space, sadly. Right, we will get onto these leaks. I just want to keep up with the chat. Don't like you only get 2 Galactic Marines. We'll talk about the turbo tank. Should they release more ARC Troopers? I would love to see updated ARC Troopers. They're almost 10 to 12 years old now, aren't they? And they're fantastic. They had the pauldrons, didn't they? They had the dark red pauldrons. The face print on the helmet was slightly off, but I'd love to see updated ARC Troopers. That would be very cool. Nice. Right, I'm going to have to skip over some messages. I apologise, otherwise I'm never going to keep up. Is it still possible to apply from the staff team to be a YouTube mod? Benny, of course, man. You work hard over in the Discord. Let me just come over to YouTube and find you here. Anyone else wants to moderate, preferably from Discord, let me know. But if not, that's fine. I'm just going to make Benny the moderator. Mr. Moore should be in the house somewhere, and he is our head moderator. Atomic Brick says regards from Germany. Thank you, Atomic. Welcome, man. Let me make the chat big so you guys can see your names before we get onto the leaks. Good evening. Nice. Lego Star Wars needs some new battle droids, etc. Well said, Benny. We're getting some separatist action at last. Speaking of separatist action, let me come back here. So, apologies, as the images for this set leaked while I was making my full guide. So they're in just the regular kind of daily news updates. But we do have some separatist action incoming in July with the Battle Droid with STAP. And if I get a picture of the setup, you guys, let's rate this set. Once I get the set image, let's rate this set out of 10. So here we go. This is the video I'm looking for. Nice. So we have this pretty interesting, almost UCS style Battle Droid and STAP design, which was leaked. I know it's not amazing quality because we're using my monitor. I apologise. Grab it up on your screen yourself if that's not clear enough. But let's rate this in the chat out of 10, the Battle Droid with STAP. So it's $130. It's got 1,088 pieces. You get your minifig scale STAP too. Yeah, it's basically a UCS display style design, very sleek, nice tiling off. The Battle Droid is fully posable, which is very cool, but $130. That is no cheap asking price. So let me know what you think in the chat of the Battle Droid, and let's be a little bit clever with this. And I will make these separate so I can keep the chat up on this screen and I can actually see you guys a little bit more updated. Okay, and then we want this one. Nice. Cool. When are you building the new gift with purchase? About maybe 15-20 minutes. We'll run through each of these sets and then we'll get building. I'm planning to be live for about 2 hours. We'll see how it goes. I promised a long time ago that I'd do a 24-hour stream to build Rivendell and Barad-dûr, and the Shire now as well. God, I've got 3 giant Lord of the Rings sets to build in one go. And the reason I haven't built them, for anyone who wonders, is just I don't have the space to display them properly. And I'd rather save them until I've moved in somewhere more long term and larger, where I can really get that nice Lord of the Rings display going. Right, let's look up at your ratings here. So 8 out of 10 from Big Friendly Truck. Nice. 9.5 out of 10 from Legion of Fett. Very nice. So I'm seeing some 10s as well. 10 out of 10 from Very Musician. So quite high ratings, definitely. We do like the design of this Battle Droid with STAP. I do like it. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. You might think me a little harsh. The price point is just not there. I get it's 1,000 pieces, but I saw pointed out on over on Reddit. It's like a Lego City truck that's being released, I believe, either now or on August 1st, and it has about 400 pieces more, and is considerably bigger. and it's like, I think $30–40 cheaper again. And there's just so many examples of this, I don't even know where to start. Like the Playscale Slave 1, for example, $70, August 1st, 800 pieces, 3 minifigures. And this is one minifigure, 1,000 pieces, and it's $130. The value just isn't there for me on this one, but I do think it's an awesome set. And anyone who kind of enjoys those prequel display sets, I think that's going to look wicked up on display. If I had the money to pick up like the MTT, the turbo tank, chuck this in there with everything, I would do it. But I like to keep my Lego stuff on a budget, so nice. 8.5 out of 10 build, 3 out of 10 price. Wyatt says, Wyatt, I like it, man. That's my new official rating there. You hit the nail on the head. It's a really nice build. But yeah, absolutely. I'd rather vehicle sets or play sets than these big adult display sets. I'm an adult too, you know. But the nostalgia for Lego is the play sets, the minifigures, the setting up a little scene on display. For me, anyway. I know everyone's different, and that is absolutely fine. Right, let's move on. So let's go back to this video. So that's July. We have one set releasing in July, the Battle Droid with STAP. There are the June sets, but I think I've covered them enough, so I don't really want to cover them again. I'll let that play for a second. So we've got Playscale Jango Fett Slave 1 here now. So 75433, 707 pieces, $70. We haven't seen the build yet, but it's got 3 minifigures. It's going to come with a young Boba, a Jango, and a Kamino. We don't know if these are going to be the same as the UCS version. It's very possible, but it's going to be a controversial one with the fan base if they are exactly the same. This is just a mock-up of the set for anyone who's unsure. This is not the real playset. The real playset realistically is going to look something like Boba Fett's Starship. It's a very similar piece count. It's slightly larger, but we had this set back in 2022. Some of you remember. This was, I believe, $50–60. Only came with 2 minifigures. But recolor this and just make it more accurate to the prequels, and you have the Playscale version that we'll be getting in August. And for me, $70, that's a palatable and quite reasonable amount to pick myself up a really nostalgic prequel set with our boy Jango. I've got a smiley Jango here. I don't have the angry Jango, sadly, but it's Happy May 4th, so smiley Jango seems fitting. We'll keep Jango there for a minute. And there you go, just a simple man trying to make his way in the universe. Let's come back to here. So Playscale Slave 1, let's drop our rating for that out of 10. All right, take care, Calvin McCabe, who is, I'm gonna leave, bye, take care, man. And then, still the amount of playsets are not that high anymore, Benny says, agreed, which I often say and point out, we just need more playsets in both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, ideally. I will buy that day 1 Jango Fett Playscale model, says Blitz Infinity. Good taste, man, me too. Be a day 1, and an exciting day 1 that doesn't completely break my bank account and send it into Force Ghost mode after an already expensive year of Lego collecting. I'm young and love making mocks and cities, so I rather Playscale sets, says Big Friendly Truck. Nice, man. Well, I'm not so young. I mean, I'm still young, but I'm not as young, I assume, as you. And I still love Playscale sets and building mocks and play sets. That is ultimately the core creative, timeless magic of Lego, in my opinion. Not the, giant display sets. They're cool. They're like museum things to look at. They're like coffee table display pieces. But play sets is what I like. Now, if you combine that together, like the UCS Death Star, you get a giant play set. That does make me excited. But $1,000 does not. So I'm seeing mostly strong reactions with the Playscale Slave 1. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Pretty sure the Jango that's coming won't have the arm printing. Good call. Who said that? Film Fan. Oh, nice. Maul. Film Fan is our head mod. Well said, man. Is this based on images you've seen or info that you have? Or this is just a logical kind of deduction that Lego won't include arm printing on the Jango in the Playscale one? 7 out of 10 for now until I see official images. Well said. Never too old for Lego. What's up, buddy? Hey, man, how you doing? Never too old for Lego indeed. Pleasure to have you on stream. I'm going to get building shortly, but we're just running through some of the leaks first. Everything that's kind of left to release this year in 2025. Nice. Cool, so let's keep this rolling. MTT next, I think. Let's make this big. Seeing as the MTT is really only seen in the Clone Wars in blue and grey, there's a very short clip of it rolling into a city. Now it's $150, 976 pieces on the new MTT. Now the two previous MTTs, one was smaller and one was bigger. One sat at about 850 pieces and one sat at 1,100 pieces. This one is right in the middle, so it's not the turbo tank situation where it's definitely going to be a big size downgrade. It should be a decent size. 12 minifigures, well, 10 of them are battle droids, so I don't know whether you count that, but 10 battle droids does suggest that we are going to get a pretty good troop loading feature for the actual MTT, which is, I think, one of the most iconic features on the previous playsets. When I was younger, I didn't own the MTT, but my friend Toby, he owned it, and I remember we used to have a lot of fun saying I'd usually be the clones. I was collecting clones back then, but we set up a good old battle scenes in his MTT when you'd unload the troops. I mean, play features don't get much better than that with Lego Star Wars, even these days with all the new parts. So let me know what you think of the MTT. We'll have a look at sort of some, this is a mock-up again, but this is the colorway it will be coming in. Oh, what's up? 327th. This is a mock-up again, but it will be in blue and grey and a separatist style MTT. We've got Ayla Secura, and we've got the first ever Phase 2 Commander Bly also coming, which is quite exciting. One of the new clone commanders, not the only new clone commander this summer. And then we have those 10 battle droids, so you can ignore the Geonosian battle droids. They're just on the mock-up of the box art. We'll be getting 10 regular B1 battle droids, which is, not too bad. For me, this is probably, alongside the Playscale Slave one, my #1 set. It's going to be really cool to see how Commander Bly's done. That was a GCC version that we can see with the Kana and the Pauldron. So realistically, we won't be getting that kind of detail from Lego, especially based off the recent Clone Trooper releases. I would be very surprised if we did. But we will be getting an updated Ayla and then all those good old battle droids. And this is a more accurate mock-up of probably what to actually expect of the build of the set. This is not the official set once again, but it is not all tiled off as that mock version was. So this is a lot more like what I think we should be expecting. And I also believe it's a similar piece count, the mock design that this is using. So you can see all of these images a bit better for yourself in my most recent video, if it's frustrating looking at it here. But I want to run through things fairly quickly, so let's check in with the ratings. It hasn't come out yet, so we are just rating the leaks on sort of, I suppose, hype factor currently, and then we'll get into building and doing some of these sets that have come out in a moment. MTT is really good. I would say 9 out of 10. The increase of price hurts a little bit, but I will be picking it up when it releases, says Moleman. I agree, Moleman Senpai. The MTT is sort of with the turbo tank losing a bit of the hype, the MTT is the big set in summer left for us. It might be a separatist set, but we do get a clone commander in there. And it has that kind of nostalgic Clone Wars summer playset feel that I think we're hoping for. Legion of Fett says 5 out of 10. It will never be better than the 2007 one. Well, you heard me talking about the nostalgia there, man. I do worry. It is my #1 pick alongside the Playscale Slave one, but that doesn't mean I'm convinced Lego's going to handle it perfectly. But I'm seeing a lot of 8 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s. Book Nooks. Lego could do that for Star Wars. That's interesting. Yeah, I would like it. Obviously, they weren't books originally, they were movies. I know there's Legends books like Darth Bane and the Old Republic novels. I'd love to see it. That could be a really cool way to do Old Republic Star Wars sets and some kind of more Legends-based stuff via Book Nooks. Just finished building the Star Wars... Oh, I missed that. Missed that comment, my bad. Right. I'm going to move on because otherwise I will get caught up for ages. And I know some of you want to see me build Kamino, and that's the main reason you're here. So MTT is ranking strong here. Now Turbo Tank, we can run through that quickly. So in terms of the Turbo Tank, we obviously have the leaked images of the wheels so far. We haven't had too much more information, but we do know the minifigures. We've got the 2 Galactic Marines, which someone mentioned earlier on in the stream, that we only have 2 coming, which is quite disappointing, and I completely agree. Initially, I did expect 4, and I expected this to essentially be a copy of the AT-ST playset from back in 2022. You've got Bakara instead of Cody, and then 4 Galactic Marines. I wasn't actually expecting Coyote-Mundi. When it was the UT-AT rumor, that obviously made a lot more sense for Coyote-Mundi, but Lego's gone for this kind of non-lore accurate, but still very cool summer clone playset. It's technically Revenge of the Sith and technically Order 66, but we don't see the Turbo Tank in that scene. We see the UT-AT, so you know it's not perfect because of that, but I'm still pretty hyped for it myself. You know, I didn't own the Turbo Tanks back in the day, I've got to say. When I was collecting, it would have been the 2006 one with the light-up Mace Windu that was kind of around when I had my main childhood clone collection. And then I skipped the Quinlan Vos one, which is like 2012, I think. I'm a big fan of the Clone Wars, but at the time, I think it was just a little bit out of budget, and I think I was at school or college. Money wasn't flowing for Lego sets back then. Anyway, so let me know what you think so far based on what we know about the Turbo Tank. I think I've got the images of the wheels here in a moment. If not, we can just watch a bit of Order 66 for some A4th action. Poor old Coyote-Mundi. Never knew it was going to hit him. So essentially, the renders will be very similar to this. We're not too sure about Bakara yet. This is a custom Bakara. We don't know how they're going to do Bakara's helmet exactly. I know some leakers have seen the images of this set, but they're having to keep it close to their chest, as it's quite risky. This is another one of the sets that Lego's quite protective about this year. But the Galactic Marines, I think we'll be expecting something very similar. We do know that they have flaps on the helmets as part of the new updated helmet mold. So that will be interesting to see how that turns out on those Galactic Marines. But yeah, here we go. Here's the Turbo Tank wheel, which is from a Clay Brick and Kramer, who leaked it. So we can see it's brick built. We've got the brick built new one here, and we've got the older versions here. And I see what the comment way back was about how they were more plastic, the pieces on the outer side. I didn't own these growing up, so I was going off, sort of intended to look like the rubber tracks of the tire. But interesting that it was plastic back then as well. I can't like conciliate like this design with this design. It just doesn't work for me. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you think. Turbo Tank, how are we rating it? How are we rating the hype? Are you excited for it? Very Musician says, Revenge of the Sith in the theatres was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Awesome. The Lego Foundation asks if anyone else has picked up the MIDI acclimator. Let us know in the chat. Hold on, I had the chat over here, didn't I? Let's go here. Do you think they will make the young Boba Fett worse? I don't think they can make it much worse. He's got very simple printing, so hopefully not. Looking forward to the Turbo Tank, Mr. Think says. Film Fan says, a Star Wars book nook would be a great way to bring back Malgus as a figure if they base it. Oh, dude. Reading my mind. I love that. Yeah, Old Republic book nooks. Imagine like a Darth Revan and Bastila Shan apartment on Coruscant book nook. A Darth Bane playing Sabak on a Patros in the mining facility. This is the kind of thing that gets me quite excited. But, this is not mainstream Star Wars. I understand this is Legends and Old Republic stuff. Back in 2022, what? Very Musician. Alguien en español. No. I'm English, but I can say a few words in Spanish, I'm afraid. You might be able to dub the stream into Spanish, and then it will dub me into Spanish, which is exciting. Hey Sam, you've got the Jedi Padawan hair. I have, man. I've got it tied up a little bit at the back so it's not too messy while I'm streaming. Yeah, I guess it's sort of young Qui-Gon, although we saw him in Tales of the Jedi and he doesn't have the ponytail then, does he? And it's not quite the Anakin braid. I'll do an Anakin braid for you guys one time. I have done that before. It's very cool. You look kind of Celtic, like a Celtic warrior. Right. Any news on a potential new Kit Fisto, says CS4215. Good question. I know Kit Fisto is in the thumbnail. I apologise. He's in there from just talking about Revenge of the Sith sets, Palpatine's office, Mustafar, which I will cover a little bit in a moment. But that's kind of the main reason he's there. It cut in half in my stream. Well, I hope it fixes up, Justin. I rate the new turbo tank a 5 out of 10 just because of the minifigs, says Joe Clone. Is that the turbo tank, Joe? Welcome also, Joe Clone, man. It's great to have you here. Everyone go subscribe over to Joe Clone. I know he's grinding with his channel too. I'm back, says Tidges. Glad to have you back, man. Nice. Blitz Infinity, 7 out of 10 on the turbo tank until I see the official images. I say until we get more info, I don't think we should be counting it out just yet. Well said. Until we do see those images of the turbo tank, we shouldn't be too harsh on those wheels. You know, there's nothing wrong with testing out a new style of design. Sam, can you do an impression of Gandalf? Wow, you're putting me on the spot, brother. The wizard is never late. He arrives precisely when he means to. I think that will have to do right now. You put me right on the spot there, my brother. I'll come strong with a hard Gandalf impression next time. The Invisible Hand MIDI scale is one of the only MIDI scale sets worth buying, in my opinion. That's fair, very musician. I mean, I'm a prequels fan, so I see where you're coming from. Lego Kid says, "May the 4th be with you." Double time. Hey, dude, I appreciate you letting us know twice. The Force must be strong with you. May the 4th be with you also, Lego Kid. 3 times. Don't spam the chat. Let's keep it to those 3 times, ideally. You shall not pass, very musician. Oh, nice. You shall not pass. Yeah, spontaneous Gandalf impressions. That's going to have to do, man. Lego Kid brother, please no spamming. I do not want to mute you. You have a sweet username. I'm sure that you mean no harm. Hold up. Let me keep up here. All Bro's videos are just leaks, but now he streams, says Dilwuff. Well, I actually streamed, 20, 30 times on YouTube. It was just about a year ago. I also don't just cover leaks. I've written a Medieval Kingdom and short story series, which is live on the channel. I've covered the evolution of Lego Dragons, some other random stuff. But leaks is the bread and butter, absolutely. And it's kind of like a news show. I like to think of it just like a news roundup. I like to stay in touch with all the new sets coming out so I can kind of plan, work out what I'm going to pick up. Get excited about things like this, which I promise we're going to build in about 10 minutes at an hour, and we'll build that, and that will be following the leaks. But I should get back to the leaks. Dilwuff, Sam, are you Sigma? It's a good question, man. Am I Sigma? I'm not Alpha. I don't care for any negative masculinity kind of vibes. I'm a strong man, and I don't take lightly fools who mess with me. But I mean, probably more Sigma. I'm a big old nerd. I love my Tolkien lore. I like kind of the behind the scenes. Yeah, man, I'm a little bit more Sigma, I'd say. A little bit Sigma and Alpha, a little bit Beta, a little bit Zeta, bro. I'm the whole alphabet, man. I uploaded a new stop motion. Nice, Lego Kid. About the Fallen Republic. That sounds awesome, dude. I like it. We have, I believe, some Turkish. Abidion ki adimi oku. I don't know what it means, but it looks cool. Welcome, Lazin. Cool, let's go back to these leaks. So Turbo Tank, nice. V19 Torrent Starfighter up next, which is quite an underrated set in my mind. We haven't seen a V19 in a while. It's going to go very well alongside the ARC 170. Again, price increase up to $65 on the V19. The minifigures, we've got Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is exciting. And we also have a new Asajj Ventress, again, quite exciting. And then another clone pilot. This will be a new pilot design. So it will be different even to the ARC 170 pilots. I can't remember if it's phase 1, weirdly. I don't think it is phase 1. But there is a slim chance that this set is to tie in with Tales of the Underworld. I haven't managed to watch it yet. I know it literally came out today. I'll probably watch it after the stream. But we do have Quinlan Vos, we have Asajj, we have Kenobi, all featuring in Tales of the Underworld. So it's very possible this is more to tie in with the hype of that show than it is for the Clone Wars, because, you know, we see the V19 with Kenobi and Asajj once in the entire Clone Wars series. Shout out to Master Moldy, another UK Lego channel. I saw that he watched through about 30 hours of the Clone Wars to find all the scenes of this set, which is that's hats off, brother. Full rewatch to find it. I respect that. So the V19 Torrent, what do we think? I've got a mock-up which we can look at in a second. So this is a mock-up. All right, didn't show it for very long. Make notes to self, show you mock-ups for longer. Oh, well, I do like it when things work like that. So this is the mock-up. This is based off a quite recent mock design, which is really quite sleek. And if Lego does anything particularly different, I don't think it's going to be very accurate V19. We've got the 3 minifigures. What was it, $65? What do we think of the V19? I'm looking forward to it. Cosmos says, would you do that, Sam? I don't know what I'm doing. Hold up, let me come back to the chat over here. Did you ever get the set 753360 Inquisitor Transport Scythe? Oh, dude, that's a Rebels set, right? I think that's a Rebels set. If it is, that sounds awesome. I unfortunately wasn't collecting much Lego during Rebels era of Star Wars. I was at parties, dating girls and wasting my youth. Not always making the wisest decisions, but sadly not spending my money on Lego, which I regret deeply now because I'm a huge Rebels fan. I watched it when it came out, and now I find it really nostalgic. I love Kanan's character. I also love Callus. Anyway, the side sounds wicked, dude. I might have to. Are you putting some Rebels sets in my head? I've got a backlog of sets already. I was just going to check in what you guys think of the V19. Is the pilot going to be Phase 1? I'm not sure, Very Musician. If it is Phase 1, I think it could be a Tales of the Underworld set. V19 and Super Battle Pack MTT, nice. Master Moldy and you are the Lego Star Wars goats. Thanks, Cosmos, dude. Yeah, Master Moldy's is a veteran. I think he's wonderful. Great guy, does some lovely videos, very down to earth, very humble. True Lego Star Wars fan right there. I appreciate being called a goat also. I'm no goat, but I might be a wizard. Guys, you should join the Discord server. You can post your mocks and you get to do so much more. Flocky. Thanks, Flocky, man. It's been a pleasure chatting to you on Discord, Flocky. And yeah, guys, join us over on the Discord. There's about 1,000 of us over there. Quite a few of the people in stream are here now. And I'll announce this unofficially, quickly, while it's in my mind. We are running a 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith mock contest on Discord. And there is a $25 gift card or voucher, Lego voucher for the winner. It can be as small or as big as you like. I think there's it actually can't be as big as you like. There is a size limit to keep things fair and get people involved. But if you fancy winning a $25 Lego gift card, head to the Discord, which should be in the description of this stream or is in the description of all of my videos, and join up in the mock contest. I want to see some Mustafar. I want to see some Dooku. I want to see some good Grievous. All things Revenge of the Sith Episode 3. All the entry details are over there on the announcements, so you can check that out there if you do want to get involved. Lazin says, what do you think of the upcoming 22 minifigures, the Batman Arkham Asylum set? Good question, man. So I'm actually a big Batman fan. The first game I ever played on PS2 was the Lego Batman, like the original Lego Batman, I think. It might have been one of the... Well, it might have been Indiana. I can't remember which one came first. Anyway, Batman was one that I hold quite nostalgically, and the Arkham Asylum set looks fantastic. Also liked a few of the Spider-Man sets, the Peter Parker's apartment, which was revealed. I thought that was very cool. I just don't have the money to collect all the different themes at the end of it all. Star Wars and Lord of the Rings take up a lot of the money, and a big old set like Arkham Asylum would mean I'd have to sacrifice something from Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. But I really like it. I think it's a strong design. Let me get it up for a second. How old is this? Quite old. So there's probably the clean images out. That is annoying. Let's find it. I think I can only find the confidential one. Anyway, I mean, even just from the blurry confidential image, you can see what I mean. The scale is there. It looks really detailed and quite accurate. And 22 minifigures, you know, Star Wars fans are calling out for that all the time, right? You know, we saw that with the Mos Eisley Cantina, one or two other of the larger sets, but that's rare to see, so that's really cool. Let me come back over. Right, I've only got 5 minutes to finish these leaks before we get building. So let's talk about the 327th Clone Battle Pack, which I think I've got the leaked placement render here. There we go. So this is the official yellow Clone Walker that is coming in the 327th Battle Pack. The clones are just, they've been copied in. And the Spider Droid is also the official Spider Droid. But ignore the minifigure lineup. This is a mock-up using the official AT-ST Walker build. Now that is the entirety of the set. There's the Spider Droid, the AT-ST Walker, and then this, I think it's like a 2x4 plate with a bit of terrain on, very small. And then you've got your 327th clones and 3 Super Battle Droids. So 6 minifigures, it's $45, which definitely stings a little bit. 258 pieces. Maybe it's 4 Battle Droids or 4 327th. I can't remember. Someone let me know in the chat if you are aware. Let me keep up. Do we know the figures of the 327th CS? Is that for the 327th? We have not seen the minifigures yet, but we do have the 327th incoming, which it's expensive. I'm not gonna deny that. I probably will be picking one up. I do like a good battle pack and a super battle pack where you get both sides. But yeah, $45 isn't cheap. So that's the Walker that we will be getting. Let me race through these. So we've got the UCS AT-ST, $200, 1,500 pieces. Quite nostalgic set for me. One of the first big UCS sets I built was the 2006 AT-ST. So I'm looking forward to this. I don't know whether I'm going to be picking it up, but if they get the design right, this will be a big old original trilogy display set to get in the collection, and I'll have to find somewhere to put it as well. Let's keep it moving. So we've got the Hot Rod Rebuild the Galaxy Snowspeeder here. What do we think? Tidge says, easy army building with a battle pack. Absolutely, man. That's true. You are getting, you know, your Separatist and Clone Fix in one set. It's frustrating that you get less minifigures and it's a little more expensive, but yeah, any army builders out there, the 327th battle pack is one for you. What Jake said. I just put lights in my Rivendell set and built the Shire set. Oh, Jake, man, you're living the dream. My Shire set is up there at the top, awaiting, and I've had to save Rivendell until I've got more display space. Happy building, man. I hope they look excellent on display, especially Rivendell with the lights. That would be really nice and relaxing in the evenings. Oh, shout out to Andor. We're listening to Cassian Andor at Niamos Beach Lo-Fi, which I do like. It gets a bit repetitive, so we'll change it up in a little while. But right, let's close that. So we are getting there, almost ready to build Kamino. Bit of Darth Bane, because I like Darth Bane. We've got the buildable Ewok coming at $120 now, which is frustrating. It's very possible this buildable Ewok is going to be similar to the Battle Droid. It's coming with a vehicle, or it's got some kind of extra parts to it that make it worth that price point, because otherwise it's really expensive. Flocky says, absolutely. I won't be picking up the Ewok either, unfortunately. I found 2 Empire Battle Packs. Nice, man. Opinion on the June 1st set? It's a good question. Ezra Bin Forever 2010. Ezra Bin Forever. Ezra Bine. Nice. Ezra, the June sets, they aren't in this video. I can skip onto them afterwards, but I really like the overall wave. $60 is cool to be able to get a battle pack, a mech, and what's the third set? More mech, Night Trooper battle pack. Plo's Microfighter, how could I forget it? I mean, Plo's Microfighter is really the big thing for June, isn't it? Plo and then the Night Troopers, I'd say. The Maul mech I won't be picking up, even though I'm a big fan of Maul, and I'm looking forward to the new Maul show Shadow Lord with Sam Witwer. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, I think Maul mech is one to miss. So overall, I really like the June wave. It's got some cheap, bite-sized kind of affordable stuff before we get into August and things get quite expensive. Hello there, Floodform117. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for dropping in. Do drop a like on the stream if you can, if you don't mind. It helps a long way. Keep things moving here. So buildable Ewok, nice. Buildable K2SO, we don't need to go over that too much. I think it's a fantastic build. Again, a little bit expensive. Not quite the banger and/or playset I was hoping for, but pretty cool. And then we've got the UCS Death Star, which we'll just close out on here for now, because I do want to get building. We'll let it play for a second. So we know it's got 38 minifigures, and it's got 9,000 pieces. We really don't know too much about the design and the build just yet. I think it has to be a full sphere. You know, if they don't go all in and give us what we want to see, no one's going to be picking it up for $1,000. It's just far too expensive. So yeah, and for me, I've known since this was first announced, I won't be picking it up immediately, and probably not for a long while. Once I move into like a big house and I can display it somewhere where it deserves to be, I'll pick up the Death Star. Maybe if I take Lego stuff full time, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it's just, I can't justify $1,000. I'd rather get myself a car or a new motorbike. There's other things in life that are unfortunately more essential and more valuable to living as an adult than owning the $1,000 Death Star. And I know there'll be plenty of LAN members and other creators out there reviewing it for you guys, so you won't be missing out on anything from me. And we do obviously have the Senate build, which is potentially rumoured for next year. Go check out this full video, my most recent upload, if you want to kind of find out the latest about any of that stuff. But I do want to get building, which is going to require me to do a little bit of moving around and rejigging, get the camera in, get some light in the room so we can see a little bit clearer. See how that is. Nice. Okay. Right. I'm gonna bring you guys in. We'll save Jango, who's just gone for a flight, and we're gonna get building. We'll be building with the Kamino training facility, and maybe open up another set. But I do need to get some sleep. It's been a long week and lots of leaks. Also redecorated the whole flat yesterday. And yeah, let's get building. So we've got the Duel Peridia there, we've got the U-Wing, we've got the U-STAP over here. We've also got Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor. I might pop out Anakin and Ahsoka at the end of the stream. I genuinely would quite like to see how those minifigures are. I mean, I can see on the box art, but might as well have some May 4th fun with you guys. Now, let's get this Kamino training facility all set up. So, I'll play around with the camera for a minute until we get a nice setup for the building. But we're going to crack this open, which is exciting. It's the only copy I've got for myself. And I don't think it's going to take too long to build, maybe half an hour or so. And we can just kind of chill. I can keep up with the chat a little bit more easily than with the leaks. And yeah, let me know anything you want to see close up, anything you want, yeah, while I'm building. I'm going to grab some scissors so I don't have to open it in a horrible way. And smash up those thumbtacks. And let's wait, I'll ask you guys, let's put this to a vote. Do you want me to thumbtack? Or do you want me to snip snip? Scissors or thumbs, gang? Scissors or thumbs, let me know. I usually go scissors, but I'm going to give you, if you guys want the satisfaction of me ripping the box open, then I'll do it. Show us your Clone Army, Lego Kid says. It's hiding just back there, some of it. But some of it's also packed away at the moment, because I don't have enough space to display them all. Scissors or thumbs, gang? It's time. Justin, are you saying save the set? I mean, I promised I'll build it, so I'm going to be building it. I've only seen one snip. I'm not sure who said snip snip, but thank you for answering the question. Oh shit, these scissors are not the best. That is not a good start, and I also just swore. Apologies, gang. That happens. All right, let's try from this end, and we'll prize it out a little bit. I don't have my nice thin scissors to hand. There we go, nice. Should have loosened it up a bit. Come in at the side. You really can just pop it open with the thumbtacks, but it's actually a good point. I should use scissors because I will probably display the box. It's quite a nice little GWP box. Right, come around to the other side. Whoa, there we go. A little bit of everything. Must all right. It's May 4th. It's May 4th now. Okay, we ready, gang? You guys can see fairly nicely, can't you? Woo! Nothing like opening up a new Lego box, hey? Nice. We've got 2 bags. Nothing crazy going on here. Little instruction manual. Interestingly, these are plastic bags, whereas the most recent sets I've bought were paper, so that's a little bit random, but no complaints. I'm sure they're going to be all paper soon. So we will get building. Push this back here. Is the view all right for you guys in terms of, I'll pour the bags out. Let me know how it looks. Your end. And we will get going. Bring this chair a little bit higher. That's better. Oh, exciting. We've got our clone cadets here. We'll start building the boys up. Let's see what's going on. Nice. We'll organise the parts quickly, as otherwise I will 100% do some building mistakes while talking to you guys. It's just nature of building on stream, and you're trying to have multiple conversations while also follow the Lego instructions. I'm a man. I wasn't blessed with the gift of multitasking. Not in this case, anyway. I can do other things at the same time, but building Lego and answering the stream tests my brain power, sadly. Nice. Let's get all the minifigure parts over here. So I think these are really cool. I'll give you some close-ups on them in a moment, but I'm just going to get all the parts sorted first so that we can have a smooth build. And I'll check in with the chat once I've sorted these parts. So drop any questions, any thoughts, any requests down in there. And let me know what you guys are up to this May 4th. Have you been buying any sets today? Did you pick up your sets on May 1st? You waiting on an order? My order came today, which allowed me to go live, which is nice. And yeah, let's see what's going on. Cool. We're nearly there. How's the view for you guys? Can you see the parts nicely? Is this a good little setup? At least for now. Okay, nice. All right, let's have a look. Yeah, that's a good view for you guys. I'm waiting on an order. It'll come tomorrow. Sam, do a clone voice imitation. Bucket, brother. You're putting me on the spot with these voice imitations. Clones are a bit harder, man. The voice actor who does clones is an absolute legend on the Clone Wars. And so is Tamura Morrison. He's also, was he Samoan? He's got like a really interesting accent. I'm gonna have to hold fire on the clone impression, brother. I could maybe do a Jedi for you. Yeah, let me catch up with this chat real quick and then we will get building. I'm going to get one of the GWPs on eBay. Do you think 35 is good value, says Dark Lord of the Sith? I do think that's pretty good value, man. I would go for that if you want to pick one up and you don't want to spend 160. I did order one myself on eBay and it was about 40, which I believe Cosmos has just confirmed, usually 40. Yeah. Open all the bags at once. Probably not. Lego kid, I'd prefer to open them one by one and build them sort of just cleanly. I've only got a limited space and I want to keep things kind of fresh and easy for you guys to see. I bought a few sets, Lego Kid says, nice. Cosmos, what methods do you use? Hold up, let me see the full chat here. What methods do you use to prevent minifigures being damaged? I'm also waiting on an Imperial Star Destroyer. I don't have... I know there's a few cool methods. You can put them on the special tiles on the feet and stuff. For me, they're just displayed, man. Yeah, I've got them on mostly on base plates. All my CMFs are on the ones that they came on. The Clone Army is the ones I want on display or on base plates. All the rest are in Ziploc bags and stored away, out of light, away from dust, and protected. So that's I either display them and I accept they might get a little bit dusty, they might need a clean, you know, every once in a while, or you store them kind of out of the way. You can, you know, do something like get some glass display doors for the front of your cases, and I am planning to upgrade eventually and get the nice glass door kind of display cases. But for now, I quite like being able to access it all easily. I can switch things around, I can add things in. I've also got my parts box is just down on the lower level, and I've got some of my Tolkien books and other books, you know, that I enjoy reading down at the bottom as well. So it's kind of got a few different purposes going on. But that would be my recommendation. Ziploc them and just keep them stored away somewhere nice and dark if you just literally want to protect them and that's your #1 priority. If you want to do some displays, then you know, go ahead, get displaying. Let me... Sam, thoughts on Boba Fett? Boba Fett's an icon, a legend. Do you have all the Lord of the Rings sets? I don't have all of them. I do have quite a few of them, but definitely not all of them. I think the GWP would be available tomorrow. Sam, would you do Gandalf and Frodo for me? Yes, I saw you asked for some voice acting before, Bucket. If I can, man, I'll do some Gandalf lines for you. Sam, I just learned your name. What is your favourite Star Wars set? That's a good question. My favourite Star Wars set is the UCS N1 Starfighter from 2002, which is up on that shelf just there. And that's probably just because it's kind of my most nostalgic set. I got it when I was younger, and my parents got it for me. And I love the Phantom Menace and that scene with Anakin. You deserve more watchers. Oh, that's all right, Flocky man. People come and go with live streams. That's just the nature of it. Samuel the Wise, brave, the Jedi. Oh, thank you, very musician brother. Cool show. Thanks for the info, Cosmos says. When I can finally finish saving up for Rivendell, I will display the figs from it around the set. Awesome. I think that's going to look wicked, dude. Some great minifigures inside Rivendell. Right, let's get building. So let's start with these clone troopers, or these clone cadets. Let's have a look. So we've got these nice dual molded legs. Pretty serious mold line on either side of them, but yeah, they look great. The dual molding really does go a long way with Star Wars minifigures, particularly things that are army builders like these cadets. Hey, look at that. Nice. Let's bring that up for you guys here. Not sure how good that quality is, but got some nice arm printing there. A little bit of like a Kamino kind of logo. And yeah, the dual molding. Nothing new with the hairpiece and the face print. But I do just think they're going to be really neat kind of addition to the Clone Army. If I put them over there, it's kind of with the army, they're going to look... Oh, up there we go. They're going to look really cool in amongst all the boys in white. And just add a little bit of variety into the scene, right? Which is pretty cool. Okay, cool. Let me speed through these guys and then we'll get on to the actual ship. Whoa. One, two. Nice. I do think something really cool they could have done with this set was include like a 99 minifigure or something. Something just like really quite specific and nostalgic for us Clone Wars fans. But that would be pretty niche for Lego. And you know, they don't always roll like that. I did forget the smaller bag here, so let's get these bits out as well. We won't bother sorting them. Let's get building. So I think we start off by building sort of weapons and little training areas, which are pretty simple. We've got this is the training droid that we are working on here. Very simple. Almost like a 4+ level of simplicity here with this. But it is just a pretty simple droid, isn't it? And we've got the swivel, turntable going on top. With the 4 little kind of blaster turret. It's a very simple design, but quite fun, quite play sort of orientated. You know, there's a couple of Clone Wars episodes where the different clone squads are going through some of the simulations, and I think this has a little bit of a feel of that, which is cool. And then obviously it's referencing Attack of the Clones, where we kind of meet the actual Grand Clone Army and stuff. Cool, so I'm gonna seal it off with another one. Oh, that's nice. Nice spin. Flip the page. Cool, so then we're gonna grab, basically repeat the bottom on top. So this is a ridiculous build. Very simple, quite funny. But does do what you kind of need it to, which is add that little bit of play, get those 360 blaster cannons firing on the cadets, train them up ready for the Clone Wars, you know, going into a serious battle zone. Right. So this appears to be the sort of weapons rack, which is again pretty simple build. Just make sure I've got this right. Yeah. Need one of them. Nice. And the white one sort of closes it off. I'm guessing the weapons just sort of clip in quite simply. Ooh, no, that is not what I was expecting. Nice. All right. Oh, is that the barricade? Yeah, that makes sense. It's a bit longer. It's like double the size. So it's sort of a barricade / weapons rack. You can kind of use it for both. Nice. All right. It's not looking too bad. Oh, yeah, it is. I have done it totally wrong. Well, that was always going to happen. Might need a brick separator. No, we're all good. I got it. Right, so that goes on that way, and then we basically need to reverse it on the other side. Okay. Challenging me a little bit more than I was expecting here. We want another one of those, don't we? Yeah. That makes sense. They're trying to catch me out, but ain't happening. I got this. Is anyone else building while on the stream, or are you guys kind of more or less not building, just kind of watching me do this? Oh wow, I managed to do this wrong again. Can't even build a weapons rack today, gang. It's a sign of sleep deprivation, to be sure. Right, let's try it one more time. So that needs to go that way. It's going in there. All we got this at last. Very simple, but it was beyond me at first. I'll finish off this bit and I'll check in on the chat, as I'm aware I have not spoken with you guys in a moment. Cool. Now we need some of these clips. 1, 2, 3. We get some guns. It's actually kind of nice. You get a few different sizes of blasters here. So we've got like 3 different sizes, basically all of them, which is pretty cool. What? Oh, nice. That one's gonna have to go in that way. Nice. And I'm gonna stock up the actual weapons rack more than the instructions recommend, because our boys need to be ready for battle. Do you know what I mean? Now they can train in style. Right, I'm just going to check in with the chat. Give me one moment. Drop any questions or anything that you want to see over in the chat while I am catching up with you guys. How long have we been live for as well? We've been live for 80 minutes. Nice. Well, I appreciate the 36 of you still hanging. Jarrell says, howdy. Howdy, Jarrell. Jared. Howdy, Jared. What a load of rubbish. Yes, then, goat. Well, thank you. Dark Lord of the Sith. I'm writing a Star Wars fan film series. Do you think I should choreograph all the fights with the same fighting style, or should I make them different, depending on which characters are fighting? That's an excellent lore question. I think you should refer to the forms of lightsabers that George Lucas sort of wrote about, right? So keep it all similar fighting style, true to Star Wars, but you could experiment with the different forms of lightsaber fighting style. I can't remember the names of them, but you know, Anakin specializes in the more offensive one. Kenobi specializes in the more defensive one. Sarasu, I think, is the one that Kenobi specializes in. Tyrannus, Cosmos says. Do you prefer Saruman or Tyrannus? Do you prefer Dooku or Saruman? Oh, that's a tough question. I think I actually prefer Christopher Lee as Dooku. I think he does a better job with that role. But I mean, I love him as Saruman. I can't speak ill of him. And I believe Christopher Lee was reading Lord of the Rings the day he died, which is really quite special. He's a very amazing actor and quite an impressive man. Cosmos says, I'm chilling. Nice. Hi. I want to decide when you're done if it's worth modifying Jurassic Park Tourist Centre. Nice. Is that one of the sets you've got built, Justin, that you're thinking about sort of modifying up? I would double the size of the Tourist Centre, says Buckethead Bricks. Hello, says Gaspar Bricks. I'm from Chile. Welcome, man. I'm guessing it's not too cold over in Chile. But you forgive my terrible English pun. I've been here since the beginning, Sam. Oh, thanks, Flocky, man. I recognise your username on YouTube, but over on Discord, I think you've only made it over there recently, right? The Shire playing in the background. It's not the Shire, it's actually some Andor lo-fi. Cassian Andor at Niamos Beach. Sorisu Form 3. Thank you, Richard and Dark Lord of the Sith. Absolutely spot on. So that's Kenobi's form. Christopher Lee was the only man who actually met Tolkien. Another excellent Richard, a man of fine taste, with both lightsaber formed lore and Tolkien lore, one after the other. Excellent. Did you see Christopher Lee's role in World War II? I did. Yeah, I've heard about that. I've also heard about his stories of vampires and witches and pretty crazy stuff from back when he was a younger man. I build mocks, says Gasper Bricks. Awesome. Check out Gasper's mocks, guys. Nice. Well, Flocky, we're glad you're in the Discord, man. Right. I'm going to start building some more of this set in 1 second. Just grab some water. Okay, so we're going to move on. And let's keep building. So I think we're starting with the KE8 now, which is a bit more exciting. It's kind of the main part of the build, isn't it? I think that's what I really like about the set. I actually think the K8 build is just really quite neat and kind of cute, kind of fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously like Jango Slave 1 does. As much as I love Jango Slave 1, don't get me wrong. Oh, that's not quite right. We need to put this in first. Nice. I did see a few people mentioning this sort of follows a similar building kind of sequence as Jango Slave 1 and sort of has a similar shaping and style, which I do think was a nice little detail. It's kind of like a mini, it's like a little mini cloned Slave 1 in all white. Okay, cool. This sort of seems to be the main frame. It sort of reminds me of the Boba Fett Starship Microfighter that they did. It's got a similar sort of layout to that. We've got some of the fun 1 by like, or what are they like, 1 by 1 by 2/3 bricks in Bricklink Studio. I like these ones. They come in handy for getting your levels right. Cool. We'll flip it over and give it some background. We might change up the music in a moment. I know we've been listening to Andor for a while now. Little flash of red coming into the build here. Oh, not quite. That was a bit silly. There we go. Got these nice same sized pieces, but brackets as well. Some interesting, I mean, that's just the nature of modern Lego, isn't it, now? The parts are not what they were when I was a little boy building. They're much sleeker, got all these rounded, interesting sized ones. It was actually kind of quite interesting when I was getting back into mock building and I started doing Amon Hen, doing some of my studio builds. Just the number of new parts that had been created was quite overwhelming at first, but obviously as you start to get to know how to use them and you figure out different interesting techniques, you know, it becomes really exciting. You have like a universe of every brick. You know, no one owns, well, I'm sure someone owns every Lego brick besides the rare stuff, but most people don't have access to that kind of a full collection in that way. And so Bricklink Studio is a really powerful tool if you want to create your own stuff. I highly recommend using it. Okay. I think it's time to flip back over. So we're nearly done with bag 1 here. Oh, damn. Those cadets, they've gone down. Cadet down. Nice. Looking good. This looks like a cockpit to me. Well, not cockpit, but the like control panel of the K8. Oh no, it's a thruster. I'm way off. Ignore me. I got you. Oh, exciting. Thruster number 1. And you're actually the bottom thruster. Nice. Cool. Starting to take shape. Time for bag 2. We've got a few spare parts here. Let's take a look at these spare parts. Usually I like to add them on at the end of the build, but these are probably, maybe you could do something with that. But yeah, a couple of spare parts. Let's pop them back into this little bag. Oh, nearly. One was not happy. I was designed to be taken out of this bag, not to put back into it. Okay. Time for bag 2. Let's put these boys over here so they don't get knocked down again. So far we've got the training droid with its spinning play feature top. Pretty simple, but does what it says on the tin. I think fans could definitely do a better job of making a cool mock. We've got this little kind of shield or weapons rack. Again, quite simplistic, but I actually quite like this. It's quite clean. It does sort of match nicely somewhat with the training droid. Pretty minimalist. Little side builds there. Then we've got our cadets, our 3 clone cadets, dual molded legs, a little bit of arm printing. Overall, really nice looking minifigures there. Right, bag 2, time. Got some much bigger parts involved in this one. That's pretty cool. Let's quickly organise them. There's our lovely cockpit. Exciting. I'll also check in with the chat before I get stuck into building this. I appreciate any of you guys sticking with me. I know building's a little bit more just kind of chilled out, so those of you who are here are probably more my kind of true fans and audience, and I'm very grateful for all of you. Literally wouldn't have this channel without you guys watching, joining the streams, hanging out, being chilled, down to earth, nice people. There's a lot of crazy creators out in the LEGO space. I think a lot of them have lost touch with what LEGO is all about and why we build and why we share our LEGO hobby. And it's nice to sort of have this, well, have our community over on Discord and here on the stream, where people keeping it down to earth, looking out for each other, just getting some nostalgia going. I think that's what it's all about. Okay, that is almost everything. Just open up the little bag of details. Nice. Some more trans pieces. Oh, that's cool. Don't think I've seen that piece before. Yeah, nice. All molded as one. Interesting. Okay, let me come check in on the chat with you guys and see what everyone's saying. Richard, what set would you have made if you could pick one? Mine would be the Shire, the actual Shire. Oh, I would love a full-on Shire. A full-on, I guess Bagshot Row would probably be best. Sam's hole, Frodo's Hobbit hole, a little bit of the water, the trees, and the hill itself. You know, the full Shire would be really difficult because it's big, it's giant. But yeah, I would love that, man. For Lord of the Rings, I mean, Minas Tirith has to be up there. Edoras and Lothlorien too, both brilliant. How are we all doing? Benny's Brick Studio says, we're good out here, man. We are in the process of building. Just checking in with the chat. Best Leaks channel on YouTube. Thanks, Kieran, man. I appreciate you. What's your favourite LEGO game? Tough one. Probably LEGO Lord of the Rings, but LEGO Batman and LEGO Indiana Jones also have a strong Strong place. Sam, one of the extra parts belong on the sniper. Good point, Flocky. That is a good point, my brother. It's over here, that's fine. I have so many guns for clones that I just kind of switch off on them, but that's a good point. Lol throws an apple at his head. Damn! I hope I don't get an apple to the head. Yup, there are a lot of silly man children in the space. Well said, Richard. There are a lot of silly man children in the LEGO space. Pippin is quite intelligent in the books. He gets a bad rep, I think. Absolutely, man. Peter Jackson chose to portray Pippin as a bit of a... well, he's kind of comedy character, right? But in the books, Pippin's brilliant. Really sucks. Just enjoy your little Star Wars dolls. Yeah, well said, Richard, man. I would love the Green Dragon. The Green Dragon Inn would be wicked. Yeah, well said. I also changed my name in the Discord server. I was Gorilla Flocky. Ah, Flocky. I remember you over on Discord, man. I remember the gorilla questions. I would totally take a micro-scale Shire. I don't value figures as much as most people. Interesting, Richard. I'm a big figures fan, but I see what you mean. Micro-scale would be the best way to make the Shire work. A full Shire set would take a year to build, says Justin. I agree, Justin. It would take a long time. Very Musician, do you think the classic Battlefront game, do you prefer, or the new ones? I obviously grew up playing the original ones, but these days, if I ever do want to play them on the new ones, I prefer the old ones. Yeah, prefer the old ones, but have to use the new ones these days. Okay, so let's get back to the build over here, where things are going to get a bit more exciting now, because I think we're going to start kind of adding the outer layers and getting this bad boy ready for flight. Although they don't fly that far. They just patrol the cloning facility on Kamino. These KEA enforcers. Nice. That is weird. Oh no, I got it. That makes sense. Just keeps it locked into place. It's quite simple. Stud's not attached, but on one side anyway. Nice. It's looking pretty good. It's quite interesting how they've managed to get this shaping. Wow. Sort of a little bit funny, but I kind of like it. I'll put it on in a second. I think you'll see what I mean. But it's basically like this piece that sort of clips onto the outside without being attached in a couple of different areas. Yeah, is that right? What's going on like this? Oh no, okay, I got you. Sort of clips on like outer fairing, gives it that nice curved shaping, but it's quite cool. I like it. I'm going to flip that around again and do the same. Do the same on the other side. Needs to go on like this. That's better. Cool. You can repeat the same for that fairing that goes on the side.
And yeah, it's pretty cool seeing it sort of take shape now. And quite appreciate the way they've sort of put it together. It's not overly complicated. It's quite satisfying as you see it take its form. Nice, so I've skipped ahead slightly. Now we get to use this cool piece. Interesting. What is this? Quite weird. But yeah, fair enough. Okay. Oh, I get you. It's because it's going to hold this in place. Got some nice dome pieces, or half domes. Cool. And then that's clipping. Oh, nice. Start to see how the cockpit's going to come together. It's pretty cool. So it is really simple. I guess we're going to be putting the thrusters onto there with those. You start to see it take shape. It's cool. It is living up to what I had hoped this set would kind of be like. Oh, nice. We can put the clip the cockpit in. Very neat. Yeah, I like it. What do we think? Pretty cool. Right, let me finish this off. We'll check back in with the chat in a moment, but I want to get at least one of these thrusters done. So there's obviously the sort of tail bit at the bottom, which I believe acts as a stand for it, which I was quite interested to see how this actually works in person when I saw the set leaked. Okay. Nice. Get these ones down here. Okay, cool. And then very simple. And actually it would just stand even as it is now. If I put those together, it's going to be, well, maybe not quite. I think it does need, this will be something the designer worked out when they were building it. It needs that counterweight at the bottom, which we're going to build in a second. But so far, so good. Nice. That's quite weird, but fair enough. So one of these. Is that serious? No, not quite. There we go. Gonna need that one. Okay. Not at all a fan of this, unless I've got it wrong, which I might have done. Let's try that again. So it goes on like this. Okay, yeah, I did get that wrong, which is my mistake. Cool. That makes more sense. So it's a bit more secure. And we can literally just put this bit on, which is cool. So it does look ridiculously long like that. That is a bit silly. But put it like that, and we've got a nice, really neat thing for display actually. Like I'm actually going to be able to fit that in somewhere without needing to take out a set. You know, I wish this had been a retail set. Flocky pointed out earlier that it's on the Lego website you know, they listed GWPs at sort of $30 or so, which is what they would sell it for if it was a real set. And I guess $40 on eBay, as we were discussing earlier in the chat. You know, if you do want to pick this up and you don't want to spend the GWP threshold, then that's the kind of best route to go down. And it's not too bad, $10. But I just don't understand why. Sort of like last year, actually. I think I've got the the Trade Federation troop carrier there as well as in my backlog, and again, just a great set, locked behind a gift with purchase wall. That ultimately, I think most fans would have picked up. You know, had it been a retail set. Both like this, the Clone Cadets and that droid carrier, both are really nice little army builders. Basically, luxury battle pack style kind of sets. I wouldn't even call this Kamino one a luxury one necessarily, but the build is pretty cool. Okay. So we are finishing off some of the thrusters now. Interesting. So they sort of just come together like this. It's cool. And they can turn, which is nice. Oh, but I put that on the wrong way. Because it's oddly, you're supposed to have the black bit forward. So let's do some life-saving operations here to correct that. And apparently it goes on like this. I actually think it looks a bit cleaner the other way, but you have the black bits exposed there with the little thruster section at the bottom. Right, let me repeat that for the other side, and then I think we're nearly there on this. So 1, 2. Come back over here. Nice. It's looking pretty good. Just add on these last few bits. No, that bit first. Cool. Clip on. Whoa. That's pretty cool. I'm liking that. Pretty simple stuff. Oh, is it wrong again? Because I do seem to have done it wrong again. We'll have to fix that in a minute. The thrusters are supposed to be symmetrical. What have I done? Let's fix it now. We can't have this. We were so close to the final reveal. Not that it's much of a reveal, considering you've seen me build every piece. But that's what it's all about, man. I've been waiting here to see the thrusters on the wrong way. Right, how am I going to fix this? Let's just restart that bit. I clearly messed up that little side bit a little bit. Oh, that makes sense, because I went backwards and I built the previous one. So I deserve every bit of that, to be honest. But it will be a quick fix, thankfully. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. It's quite cool. I kind of like it with the blue plasma on the front, but that's how it's shown on the box art. You can also have it sort of all clean and white sort of style. But yeah, the thrusters should be down. So that is officially the correct way. You've got this honestly weird tail, but it's clever for the balancing, where that's not great. It does look like that tail bit. It's not the strongest, that little bit at the back, but yeah, I mean, I really like this set. Let's put a clone cadet inside it. So clone cadet stands there, fits in quite comfortably. No, he doesn't. What about if hands are forward? Okay, so hands forward, you get a clone cadet in there really nicely, and it fits really well. And then if I set up the whole set, we've got, I'll put the sniper on for you, Flocky. There we go. Oh, now he doesn't want to stand. Let's balance him. Then we've got the two clone cadets alongside their brother who's up inside the cockpit. And we've got this little kind of weapons rack, defense section. You know, you can imagine he's running up to it, grabbing himself a little pistol, ready to go training, help his brothers. And then we have the training droid, which is very simple. This is not going to change your life, but it is pretty cool. Just as an overall set, this is so clean. It's clean, it's minty fresh, it's like toothpaste, man. It's it just looks really nice. It's affordable. If it was a retail set, it's bite size. It's all held back by the fact that you got to spend 160 to get it. But as we were sharing earlier, a lot of us found a way, whether that was the playset route that I took, or whether that was buying the UCS Slave one itself, which I know a lot of people did end up picking up, which is wicked. But yeah, I really like this. I just think it's so neat. I'd quite happily army build like 20 of these, build a nice big Kamino mock. Sam, should LEGO do a Star Wars CMF? Flocky says, absolutely. I think they have some licensing issues, which is why they haven't done this before. But I do think that would be really good. Hey, brother. You can do this. There you go. Yeah, so obviously for May 4th, I went for some playsets. The playset route myself. But I know some people went the UCS Slave 1. Some people went the midi-scale helmets kind of route. And we've got Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor in there as well. And that got me to the gift with purchase, which we've just finished building. And man, oh man, that's a lot of money to spend for this little bad boy right here. But yeah, once again, really clean gift with purchase set. I like the design. It's kind of simple, but it just reminds me of like the best kind of Lego. Doesn't take you years to build, satisfying, has some cool play features, can load in the cadet. And you could also obviously technically have it in exactly the same way the Slave 1 flies. And what's kind of clever is that because of this handle, you can have it set up in flight position. Oh, he's coming out. Bro's absolutely dead. You're gone, man. You're gone. Gonna have to load in. This is why we've got multiple clone cadets, right? When one dies, you just clone another one. Just get him in. Nice. So obviously you can have it in flight position where they're in it and it's sort of sitting like that, or you can, well, you can, little bit fragile. You can also have it down in a more kind of flight ready position, not flight, takeoff ready position, which is cool. And yeah, I think it adds a really nice scale to this set. You've actually got these different levels of the side builds, you know, and it frames itself really nicely. Bring this guy back. But yeah, I'm not going to waffle on about this too much, but I do think potentially the best playset gift with purchase ever made. Darth Revan is the only contender, and it's a single minifigure poly bag from 10 years ago. This is as good as it gets in 2025 for a gift with purchase. Yeah, I think 4 minifigures might have made it slightly better. 4 clone cadets, make it a full-on battle pack style set. But yeah, I am definitely going to end up picking up 1 or 2 more of these just so I have a little fleet of KE8 enforcers. I really like them. And yeah, that's just me. But let me know what you think of this gift with purchase. You guys a fan? Did you guys spend the 160 to actually pick it up in the first place? We've been live for 1 hour 57. Nice. We'll stay live for a little bit longer. Let me. What would you guys like to do? I'm gonna stay on just to build some minifigures, I think. We can either crack open Ahsoka's Interceptor, build Anakin and Ahsoka. We can crack open Duel on Peridia and build Thrawn and Ahsoka. Or we can crack open the U-Wing and build Deirdre or Cassian. What do we want, guys? Cassian and Deirdre, Ahsoka and Anakin, or Thrawn and Ahsoka? Double Ahsoka. Let me know in the comments. And let me catch up with the chat as well. I haven't checked in a little while. Let me see what's going on here. So far, exclusive remains to be seen. Oh, nice, Justin. Must be talking about one of those sets. I just finished building a sealed Z95 Headhunter I've had for ages, says Wolfhound. That's awesome, man. Like to hear that. Maybe a Z90, we've had the ARC 170, we've had the V19, maybe a Z95 2026, but I'm just speculating. Ahsoka Interceptor, Wolfhound says. U-Wing, Sebastian says. Deirdre Miro, my beloved, Richard says. Man after my own heart. Deirdre's an iconic character. U-Wing, I want to see Andor. Getting a bit more Andor. Thrawn, hope they come out in another set. Ahsoka or the U-Wing. I think U-Wing and Andor got the most there. So we will we crack open the biggest of all? Give you a little bit longer. Anyone else want to drop in? Which one shall I open and just build the minifigures of before we close out the stream here? Taking some balancing risks for you guys. Last call, let me know in the chat which one do you want me to crack open and build the minifigures for. Mr. Think says, yep, Andor. U-Wing, Flocky says, Sam, you should animate your ships. I didn't quite catch that. Bucket, my bad. Thrawn. There is a fair bit of Thrawn there as well.
to satisfy my Thrawn friends, because I was tempted by Thrawn. There we can see him pretty clearly. He's got the dual molded legs, new Imperial print, slightly different shade of blue on his skin colour. And if I give you this side, front up on Thrawn. Does look to be a really clean minifigure. I'm excited. I wish they'd done a better job with Ezra. I might have to get a different head print for Ezra because the blue eyes are just ridiculous. Not for me. Come on, Thrawn is so overrated in the US. Yeah, don't worry, Richard. I was just satisfying the Thrawn gang. Also, will you display the gift with purchase? I definitely will, Flocky. That's going into the display. I don't know where it's going to go or how it's going to fit. As you can see, my display is absolutely packed, and you guys can see in my videos normally there's not much space left for more sets. So we'll find somewhere though. This shelf down here is there's a couple of backlog sets I have. Duel on Naboo. This one I couldn't fit on the display, but this is one of my childhood sets. Little Exoforce set. And there's also the Marvel Surtur, what's the other half of that set there. Yeah, and then let me just show you guys this quick, because I built this quite recently, and this has gone at the top of the display, but this is a really cool Exoforce set. It's called the Golden Guardian. Really cool, probably one of the coolest mechs Lego's ever kind of made. It's got these gold pieces, and yeah, this neat minifigure as well. I really was a big fan of Exoforce back in the day, but sadly we don't see sets like this anymore. Anyway, let me come back and we'll crack open the U-Wing. I'm only going to build Deirdre and Cassian because I do want to build the actual ship while watching some more of Andor. And when are the next episodes out? 22nd, it premiered, 29th, like tomorrow? The day after tomorrow? Not long. That's exciting. Nice. Okay, let's do it. U-Wing time, baby. Let me move these out of the way again. Kamino, you can stay with us. You can go back over here. Nice. Right, here's the U-Wing. So people have thought it's a bit smart. I heart Gandalfin. Welcome, Suri Gamer, man. Gandalfin for the win, hey? Cool, let's get this bad boy open and locate Richard's beloved, Deirdre, and Cassian also. Gonna have to use a little bit of brute force with this one, gang. The sides are packed down tight. Hey. There we go. Nice. We ready? I'll do a nice high drop for everyone. Oh. Oh, we've got paper bags. So the gift we purchased, plastic bags, but this one has paper. Whoa. I think I might be on for quite a few hours based on how long it took me to build this. If I build this with you guys, so it's going to be tricky. You're going to have to go into the instructions. So we've got 5 building bags with this U-Wing. Oh, 6 building bags. It's more than I expected, I must say. Okay, and then we've got the instructions here. Nice. Let's pop them open and locate Deirdre. So Deirdre's not in bag 1. Is Deirdre in bag 2? Deirdre, my beloved, where are you? Oh, Cassian's in bag 3. Exciting. Let's head to bag 3. Bag 3. Cassian. Gonna have to open the whole thing, I think. Do you play D&D? I do like D&D Cosmos, man. I haven't played much of it before, but I'm a big fan of like the role-playing, fantasy worlds, that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Right, Cassian. Come on, brother. Hair secured. Torso secured. Oh, secondary hair secured. Great. 2 hair pieces needed. Right, we'll leave the gun behind on Cassian, but this is Cassian. I've got to say, it's pretty understated printing, and I have been consistently disappointed by the Cassian Andor minifigures from Lego. The season 1 is like looked like Sirius. Oh, I didn't get his head. The season 1 looks like a Sirius Black. It just doesn't capture Cassian in season 1. And in season 2, I think his hair is a little bit too short. But that is a really good Diego Luna face print. I'm not gonna lie. He's got this sort of like, it's like very middle kind of expression going on. A little bit nervous, a little bit worried about the rebellion, but also about us. Let me bring this in. Don't know how good the camera quality is, I'm afraid, on the stream, but you can see we've got some torso printing, like some ammunition slots on the legs. It's just some very basic printing. There's like 1 brown strap. The other face print, he does have a slight smile. So you've got kind of one where he's just looking a bit glum. Yeah, I can't get it to focus on the stream, which is very frustrating. Anyway, he's got a slight smile, and then he's got a sort of more non-smiling expression. Kind of hard to see, I'm afraid. But I will cover these in videos a little later on. I just wanted to get building. Enjoy May 4th with some of you guys, the community. Right, let's find Deirdre. That's what it's all been for, guys. All of this has been for Deirdre. Let's find her. Deirdre, where art thou? Oh, there she is. There's Deirdre. Bag 4. Go to bag 4. Bag 1. Bag 2. Bag 4. We've got bag 5 and bag 6 back in the box. I might go to some more of this on stream with you guys another day next week, but yeah, I do want to watch Andor while I build it. That was kind of the main purpose of buying the U-Wing. I don't mind the set, but I don't love it as a ship in universe. It's just not like the coolest ship in my mind. And you know, I'd rather have seen like Luthen Rail's ship, or maybe the TIE Avenger that we saw Cassian in. I think they would have been better options. Alright, Deirdre, I have come, my love. I have come at last. Oh, clean. Better focus. Wow, Deirdre doesn't get a smiling face print. She's, oh, it's just heads it can't focus on, isn't it? She's sort of gritting her teeth on one, and then thin-lipped on the other. Just how Cyril likes. Might have to take some pieces out to get to her legs. Where are your legs? Oh, there we go. Oh, and they are nice legs. They were worth
Oh, they are nice, but they don't have side printing, which does look a little bit off. I guess it's kind of accurate to the ISB uniforms, to be fair. Let me bring that in. They're looking good. Genuinely a big fan of the ISB, the new ISB designs. We just need her cap, which is a really nice new piece. Little ponytail mold at the back, very cool. Oh, damn. I think Deirdre is potentially my favourite May 1st minifigure, guys. I think she looks really cool. Beats Cassian. Cassian just kind of looks like a Lego City zookeeper, frankly. I know he's kind of somewhat basic, some of his outfits, but like he's also pictured in some really cool stuff throughout Andor. It's kind of disappointing that we just get these sort of like knockoff Han Solo designs for him. But I'm glad to have you, Cassian. More glad to have Lady Deirdre Mira on the scene. Let me see what people are saying in the chat. Besides, I have the OG Thrawn and I put on dual molded legs. Clever bucket. You don't need Peridia now. Lego Fortnite would be interesting. Cool. Must admit that Ewing looks great on the instructions cover. I'm going to have to get that set. Oh, well, Mr. Think, I'm glad that helped you decide, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's all we're getting for Andor, right? The Ambition Ferrex for Season 1 was kind of cool, but is even less exciting than this, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't like the hair on either Andor figure. Yeah, me neither, Richard. The original Andor's one looks too long and like Sirius Black. And on this one, it's actually too short. You can see some of his beard at the back of his head there. It's just like, in fact, I'm going to change this right now. Let's find a better hairpiece. I'll definitely have one. Let's go with potentially even episode 3 Anakin, guys. Right, we're gonna Morwen, the father of Morwen of my Forest Rangers in my medieval series. We're gonna borrow his Aragorn hair, and we're gonna also use this episode 3 Anakin hair, and we'll test both of them out on Cassian. So that's Cassian with Anakin's hair, episode 3. What do we reckon for season 2, Cassian? Is that better than the short one that they've given him? I think it's a little better. It's a bit too Anakin, but obviously it's Anakin's hairpiece, so... I don't know, I think that's the one. I think it's just... He just needs literally Aragorn hair. If Cassian had Aragorn hair, he looks more like Cassian in Andor, anyway. In Rogue One, I mean, also in Rogue One, he has the same slightly longer hair. Alright, let me put these hair pieces back. That's looking pretty strange. Let's fix that. Nice. You, my good ranger, can go and join the Kingdom of Pelargir up here on that top shelf there. That's like the medieval kingdom I built. Made this whole world of characters. It was quite a lot of fun doing that. A slightly more creative project outside of the leak stuff, which is always nice to do. Oh, I did miss out on these stickers, I think. No, they're Ewing stickers. Yeah, cool. Let's put them back in there. That was a close one. Now I'm going to tidy up a little bit, but I'll leave the stream running so I can check in with you guys and check in with some final comments and stuff. Right, so we've got the Ewing, we've got Peridia. Put the instructions back in with Kamino. Nice. Ahsoka. Bring these guys over. Oh, Anakin needs his hair back as well. It's quite tricky when I'm doing all the mock building. I'll like steal parts off minifigures here, there, and everywhere, and they'll, unless I'm really, really on it with being organised, like Jango earlier, showed him at the start of the stream. Smiley Jango, he needs to go back with the clone army. Leading the clone army, to be exact. Although, in fairness, we could have him down with the Kamino boys. I feel like that's more fitting. A proud father and 3 of his sons. Nice. Hey, Dad. I thought your ship was bigger than... Oh, wow, we've got 2 gate crashers out here. Deirdre and Cassian coming to Kamino. Very lore inaccurate. But that is what we sort of built today. Not a whole lot, considering 2 hours. We were only building for about an hour, max. Well, yeah, an hour, bang on. And then we were discussing Leech for an hour, so it's not too shabby. But I did tell you guys, I struggle to build and talk without getting a little distracted. So I appreciate you all sticking with me. It's been a lot of fun. Now, I'm just going to check something here. I believe I should still be live. If you guys want to drop any sort of last questions, thoughts, things you wanted to cover into the chat, and I will get to them in one moment, and then we are going to probably close out in about 15 minutes, I reckon. I'm just doing a little bit of optimization. Right, I have to flip the stream. Apologies. I may be sideways right now. Okay, cool. That's all set up. Nice. All right, Dan, we got any last questions or things going on in the chat? You could live stream yourself playing a Lego game sometime. I'd love to do that, man. It's more just don't have a lot of free time. This is my free time. And well, yeah, 2.5 hours of it on stream. I need to go cook dinner now. It's about 8 PM here in the UK. So yeah, but I would love to, man. I'm hoping to get some more streams going on. Drew Dog just married today. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations to Drew. Did you complete the custom Balrog? The diorama I was working on, the Balrog one. If so, I have not completed it. Thanks for reminding me. Guys, last chance to join the Discord server. We'd love to have you there. Absolutely, Flocky. Well said. Do join us, guys. You know, we kind of hang like this all the time. I can't go live all the time, but we're always discussing things and keeping it chilled out, nerding out, talking lore, talking Lego, all the good stuff. What's the next set I'm going to buy? Probably Plo Koon's Microfighter, I think, June 1st. Might hold off till August. And I'm very tempted by some of the Harry Potter and Marvel stuff. But yeah, I have to be reasonable. How about you guys? What's the next set you are planning on picking up? What's your job, Richard says? Just work as a manager at a local cafe, man. I've been there for a while now, quite well a part of the community there. It's quite nice. I've been doing less there as I've been able to do YouTube more, but nothing too crazy outside of YouTube. Yeah, I work as a manager. Don't want to be rude, but the Discord needs some optimization. It's just a free community, Richard, man. If you want to do that optimization, go ahead. Otherwise, it's enough work just kind of keeping everyone happy and making sure everything's safe and fun over on Discord, really. Eventually, I mean, once we're bigger and bigger, we'll obviously optimize things slowly, but there's like a reasonable limit to what we can do right now. Hello, just got here. Can you show me the May 4th promo fix real quick? I can indeed. Do go back and check out the stream though, dude. I've built the whole thing live and the camera's a bit clearer when I was building it earlier. But I mean, general consensus, we really like this GWP. It's really cool. The figures are great. You've got arm printing, you've got the dual molded legs. The playset's got some neat little kind of features to it, nothing crazy. But yeah, big fan. High rating from me. Francisco says, my family says to me, I can't buy Lego. What can I do?
you can ask again, but I would recommend above all else, learn the art of patience, brother. And when you're a little older, you'll be able to kind of pick up any set you want when you see it come out. But right now, you know, when I was younger, I definitely didn't have all the sets I wanted, and I had lots of friends that had bigger collections than me. That doesn't matter, you know. Collecting's about just enjoying your own collection. So don't worry about it. Hopefully your family will pick something up for your birthday or Christmas or something. Now they know that you really want some. I'll get the GWP once I get paid. Yeah, good call, man. Good call, Dark Lord. Steel Liquor, Richard says. Well, I wouldn't recommend that. We've all got to be... We must be law-abiding citizens of the Republic. We are the Jedi, after all. But I think I'm going to pretty much head out. Yeah, Justin says, thanks for the stream, everyone. Thank you for the stream, everyone. You guys have all been fantastic. I've really appreciated the comments, the questions, just the general chill atmosphere going on that we had. I'd rather have 25 of you that are all just nice, chilled out people than have 1,000 with a button there. So just grateful, really grateful for you guys joining the community in any way that you do, whether that's the Discord, whether that's just watching the videos here, whatever it is. Trent, closing out with what's your favourite theme? My favourite theme. It's a close one between Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. Star Wars takes it because there's more, but I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Mr. Moore, didn't you moderate that? Hey, what's up, Jedi Bricks? Have a great day. Thanks, Avatar Eli, man. You too, Eli, brother. Have a great day. Happy May 4th or May 5th, potentially, depending on where you are in the world. I hope you get some good building done. Do go back and check out the build we did of this, and you can also check in on any of the leaks. They're sort of back at the start of the stream. Have a good one. Thanks for the content, Wyatt says. Appreciate you, Wyatt, man. Wouldn't do it without you guys. And you guys too, have good days. Happy May 4th. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Be healthy. Look after yourselves. Look after your loved ones. May the Force be with you. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.